Casey, and in case you don't know me, I'm a full-time polymer clay artist. And I haven't made a video on this channel for a very long time, but that's for a couple of good reasons. So I think it's probably been over a year since I've posted here, but that doesn't mean I haven't been busy this whole time. So the things I've done is obviously my polymer clay business has been going as usual. I make animal figurines, they're super fun, and they've been just going as normal. However, I was experiencing a lot of creative burnout. And the things I did for that is that in the past year, for about a year now, I have been making sticker sheets, and I've started a sticker shop. I have a Cricut, and that's been a really good balance for me, because I'm sure other creatives also experience this, but if you are just making one thing all the time for like 60 hours a week, 7 days a week, and you never work on any other creative projects, or at least for me, when I don't work on other creative projects, I run out of ideas for my main project. So I was really struggling to be like efficient and creative with my polymer clay animals, because they were all I was doing all the time. You know, the demand for them, because I've been doing it for 6 years, was high, but I felt like I wasn't making the right things. And so I started my sticker shop in addition. And that's been a super big project, and I can share more about it. But I've also been focusing on switching to video content. When I started my shop 6 years ago, if you could take like a non-fuzzy picture of your art, like you were good. You promoted on Instagram, that was it. As long as your photos were pretty, you were fine. And now you kind of have to do video. And I really struggled with that transition, because I felt like, oh, I have to be doing all these tutorials and stuff. But then when I made the tutorials, it didn't really help my shop, and they were tons of time. I've transitioned to video, and with that, I started posting my videos like everywhere, because they're a type of content that seems to be spread. Like, it started with TikTok, and now like every platform has a video of some sort. So I started posting them from Instagram Reels and TikTok to Facebook Reels, Pinterest idea pins, YouTube shorts, and that's where this comes back in. I've been posting all the shorts, and they've been super fun and cute, and I thought maybe I should try the long form video again. So that's what I'm doing. So I will show you around my studio for all the chaotic things I'm working on. It's the middle of December right now, which means that I am finishing up Valentine's Day and working on some stuff for the new year for my sticker shop. Because my sticker shop is like basically a hobby for me to keep me like creatively motivated for my main job, which is my clay pieces. I don't have to have everything ready as fast, so I sort of like get stuff ready in time, but I'm not as on it as the clay, if that makes sense. But let me show you what I have going on. So in here we have the video set up, and I've got the big studio lights. And then you can see I was filming the last goose video of the year, but I will have the weekly geese soon, so that's exciting. But this is my last one for this year, and there's the like sad empty sticker sheet left over from doing the geese. All year, it took me a whole year to get through it. So here's what I've started for my Valentine's Day pieces, and I've been working on them for weeks and weeks. Like, obviously each one takes weeks to make. These are probably made over like 6 weeks maybe. So I just got them finished painted this morning, and obviously they'll need to be sealed with a coat of matte sealant, and then I can photograph them and all that. But I have some super fun ones this year. So obviously I have a bunch of really traditional Valentine pieces, like these right here are little hot cocoa animals in a mug with heart marshmallows. But I also am trying a range this year that's like Valentine Hallowtine. So it's a Halloween Valentine mashup. I literally thought of this idea last Valentine's Day, but by then it was too late to make them. So I've done it this year. So this one is a little mouse, and he's a potion mouse in a cauldron. And then I also have a bunch of little pink familiars. Let me show you one. I made a familiars range for Halloween last year of 2022, and it went over super well. So I've gone back and I've done more this year. So this one's a little dragon familiar, and each of them is sitting on a book. And so I added in little faux rose quartz, a little heart-shaped love potion, and little candles. I think they're so cute. I hope people like them. I know it's a little like out of the box to do a Valentine's Day Halloween mashup. It's probably one of the like most unusual collections I've made in my 6 years doing this, but I'm excited about it. For the Valentine's collection, I have a couple of these little mice. So they're supposed to be kind of like candy hearts, and their little heads are almost heart-shaped. And I want to make them little custom boxes to sit in. So what I did is I made some little stickers that will be like the front of the box. I did that just like that for my Easter collection last year, and it was super cute, so I'm trying it for Valentine. So I'm going to use a piece of thick poster board to cut out boxes on my Cricut to put these stickers on to hopefully make like a little heart-shaped window. It's always like a little nerve-wracking to hopefully have the sticker in the box line up perfectly, but I did it for Easter last year and it worked, so I'm hopeful it's going to work again. Okay, so in Cricut Design Space, I have it set up as the little box, and you can see where the score lines are. And I'll put the scoring stylus in my Cricut to do the lines, then the blade will obviously cut around it. So hopefully it'll work out. So I'm gonna grab the scoring stylus. Where is she? There she is. And I'm just gonna pop that into the Cricut. This is seriously one of my favorite tools because unlike the scoring wheel, which I don't even have honestly, it can do both the scoring and the cutting in one go. And I've made so many different little boxes and things by using this tool. Okay, here she goes. So it's scoring. This particular Cricut blade is a little dull, so we'll have to see how she did. Oh no, she did it. It's a little worried because this is really thick, shiny poster board. All right. I only made one to start just in case I like messed up which direction it was going or anything like that. So there's this. There's the little box, and I want it shiny side facing up. Let me grab the sticker and see if it lines up though. All right, so moment of truth. I've got the little sticker and we're gonna see if it lines up with the box. I always find this kind of difficult to do. Oh, and that looks perfect. I'm actually pretty happy with that. I'm gonna use some recycled plastic to make a cute little window that hopefully the little mouse's face will show through, and then I'll glue everything with hot glue. All right, so I'm gonna use this Lisa Frank ruler that I've literally had since probably elementary school to just fold up on the score lines better. For like thick cardstock like this, it actually folds pretty well just on its own as opposed to like thin cardstock like what I used for my Frog Advent calendars. But I want to get score lines before I fold. And then now that I know it works, I cut out a second one because I have two little mice. So I'm gonna fold that one as well. I don't know what it is about this ruler, but like literally this is the only ruler I like to use to fold boxes, which surprisingly comes up a lot. I just have this tendency to try to like make different little like containers for my clay animals. It's been like my new thing, and like it feels like a lot of people who buy them from my shop love the ones in little containers, which is lucky because I always feel so drawn to making them, so it kind of gives me an excuse to make more. I would also love to make like the tiny little froglets, like maybe like a set of 6 different rainbow ones in a tiny version of this box as like frog candy hearts, but my concern with them is that I don't know how I would like carefully seal on the sayings because I'd have to paint them. So I have to think about that. Maybe I can figure it out. Maybe it will happen. I made extra stickers just in case I totally mess up a sticker doing this. I know I'm gonna watch this video back and be embarrassed about how long this is going to take me. Okay, there we go. I doubt either of them are like perfect, but you know what? I'm gonna count that a win. So the next thing I'm gonna do is, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's like a thin piece of plastic packaging. I keep this plastic packaging literally just to make little candy boxes. So I'm gonna cut out and round off 2 little pieces to cover it. And it is like clean plastic. I'll preference it like that. I just like to reuse what I can. I don't remember what this is from. I wanna say it was like from buying workout equipment. Maybe it came as the packaging, but I honestly can't remember. But I'm gonna use scissors to cut out 2 little pieces. I'm not sure you can see it, but I did cut out little pieces of the plastic to be the windows, and I rounded the edges a little bit because obviously I wouldn't want them scratching up the critters as people took them in and out, and then, or even worse, like cutting their hand on it. So I made it nice and smooth. So I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue to glue this into the little box on the back. And I kind of have to work fast on this, so it's always kind of a little crazy, if I remember correctly. I remember from doing my bunny boxes last year that the glue I'm using is like fairly low temp, so it doesn't like mess up the box or the plastic or my fingers for that matter, but I do have to work quickly. And this glue gun is probably 15 to 20 years old. I have other glue guns. I just keep coming back to this really old one. I think it's partially because it is so old, it only does a super low temp, and so I like it for that. But you know, there's just like good glue guns and glue guns that like aren't as good, and I couldn't tell you which, but you know it when you see it. All right, and as always, the inside of these is just never the prettiest, but nobody's looking at the inside of it, so that is a little close to the edge, but it still works. I think we're happy with that. We'll get rid of the little glue gun strings, press the sticker down. Okay, and then I'm going to do the other one. Let's try to keep it a little farther from the edge. I like want it to have enough to be glued down, but I don't want it to get in the way, you feel. But ultimately, like, you won't be able to see it, so it doesn't matter. I just love for things to be pretty. Okay, I'm gonna take an X-Acto and clean that one up a little bit. Sometimes I ask myself, why do I make such tiny stuff that takes all this? And I don't know, I just can't get away from it. That's part of the thing with like all the short form video now, and especially like TikTok and Reels. You have to show such a short amount of everything. Like, it's hard to demonstrate just what goes into making. Like, it makes it look like you make your thing in 15 seconds when I never make them in 15 seconds. In fact, each piece I make is probably like between 6 to 8 hours for each clay piece, and so it's a process. And now I can just glue the whole box. I literally made hundreds of boxes this year for my Frog Advent calendars, which I'm so thankful that people enjoyed the Frog Advent calendars. But I made boxes by the hundreds, and yet a couple weeks later I'm like, what was the process I go by to make a little box? I can't remember. Cute little Valentine heart box. And so who goes inside is one of these little mice. And there he is. He's just sticking his little face out the little heart-shaped window. I don't have him perfectly lined up, but you get the idea. You can't tell that the plastic is there, but you definitely can tell in real life that he has a cute little window. I just wanted to share my Valentine collection to finish out this video. Thanks so much for watching.